Value creation through challenge and innovation. New market exploration and endless research and development. Taehwa Precision Industry Incorporated, the leader of the fire engines, is now taking a step forward into a world-class company beyond Korea. Taehwa Precision, a new wave in the fire engines industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce about the operational guidelines of our large-size chemical fire engine, which boasts its chassis performance of 2,500 RPM, 6-cylinder engines of 320 horsepower with automatic mission, and the fire engine is loaded with 4,000 liters of water and 400 liters of foam. Discharge water to tank water. This is the operational guidelines of how discharge water to tank water. The first step is to stop the engine and put the gear at a neutral position. Here, put the driver's panel gear at neutral position and then operate the handbrake lever. Open the main valve and press the PTO switch for approximately 3 seconds. When the control board pump lamp at the driver's seat is turned on, check for the operation status of the RPM meter. Use the discharge water cloth if you are discharge water with a cloth. Adjust the direction of discharge water cloth and then discharge water by turning the level of the open position. If you are using an outlet, get off from the driver's seat, move to the pumping panel, connect the appropriate fire hose by using the hose wrench installed at the panel side and open the outlet lever to the left to start discharge water. Charging the storage water into the water tank. Now, it is the operational guidelines for charging the storage water into the water tank. When charging the storage water into the water tank, park the fire engine next to the storage tank. Put the gear at neutral position and operate the handbrake lever. Then, get off from the driver's seat. Use an appropriate wrench to assemble the hose to the absorbing outlet of the control board of the pumping room. Sufficiently submerge the other end of the fire hose into the storage tank and press the PTO switch for 3 seconds. Then, the pump will be turned on and the PTO will start to operate. Open the absorption outlet lever by turning to the left and press the water supply button to operate the vacuum pump. Here, the absorption outlet air will be discharged. The water will flow into the pump and the water supply system will stop automatically. Water is charged into the water tank by manually opening the valve of the self-feed water supply outlet to open and close. Here, make sure to sufficiently discharge air by pressing the emergency switch if water intake is not carried out within the normal operation time. In case of malfunction of water intake to the pump, even the water supply system has been operated for a long period of time. Try again by removing the PTO and check the open-close statuses of the valves and the absorption pipe connections. Next, it is charging the fire hydrant water into the water tank. Open the pumping room water storage pipe valve to the left and connect the hose with the fire hydrant to open the valve and charge into the water tank. Now, I will explain about the operation of the main control of the driver's seat. Now, I will introduce the guidelines for discharge water supplied from a tank of another fire engine. In order to discharge the water supplied from a tank of another fire engine, connect the discharge water outlet of the other fire engine with the relay outlet, and the PTO will start to operate by pressing the PTO switch for 3 seconds. Opening the self-feed water valve of the pumping room panel will allow water charging into the water tank. And opening the discharge water outlet to left will allow waterproofing. Next, I will explain the emergency discharge water operation at malfunction of the driver's seat control panel. For emergency discharge water operation at malfunction of the driver's seat control panel, press the PTO switch at the driver's seat switchboard. Press the cruise switch installed at the steering wheel combination, then slightly increase the RPM by pressing the resume switch. Get off from the driver's seat and convert the airline valve mounted at the side of the pumping room to manual. Start waterproofing by pulling the main valve of the pumping room panel to open manually and opening discharge the waterproofing outlet lever to left. Next are the emergency measures and checking lists. The first step is to check the fuse. It will not function if the gear is not at neutral position or the handbrake is not pulled. In case of RPM is not controllable, release the driver's seat exhaust brake if the steering wheel combination exhaust brake, engine brake is operated. You must operate PTO without braking. I will explain about the checking list for water supply system malfunction. In case of water supply completion lamp on at the pumping room panel, make use to exchange the pump pressure sensor as it indicates pump pressure sensor failure. Exchange the fuse if the fuse at the vehicle main distribution is disconnected. In case of failure of the electronic clutch mounted at the pump, check the power and exchange the parts. Now, I will explain about the checking points for the air-operated valve. Check each of the fuses for the main valve, water storage pipe valve, foam valve, and drain valve at the main distribution board. Check the main operation status of the air main solenoid valve. Check if the manual conversion valve is at auto position. Check if the manual lever of the air solenoid valve is at 0 position. For long-time pump operation, check the thermometer at the pumping room panel and cool by opening the cooling water valve if the gearbox temperature goes beyond 6 degrees Celsius. Never run the pump at high revolution if there is no water inside the pump. It may lead to mechanical seal damage within the pump. Check the oil in the gear bumps, pump and vacuum pump every 6 months and refill up to the gauge value if necessary. If the oil color is changed to milk color, exchange the oil and check for the water leakage in the oil hole. Gearbox oil and pump oil types. It is allowed to use the engine oil for the vacuum pump oil of Omala S2 G68 level. Self-feed water valve, which controls the self-water supply line, is closed by pushing and opened by pulling. It is sprayed to the left by opening the left self-automatizing valve. It is sprayed to the right by opening the right self-automizing valve. The foaming liquid control valve changes the foam density by the level of lever opening status. Determine the foam density and open the water supply valve. Make sure to use the cleansing valve only for the purpose of cleansing the remaining foam liquid in the foam tank or foam piping. Make sure to cool the gearbox by opening the cooling water valve in case the gearbox temperature rises beyond 60 degrees Celsius during water discharge. I would like to finish the operational guidelines, checking list, and emergency measures on WFC 0302, the large-size fire engine of Taehwa Precision Industry. Thank you very much for being the customer of Taehwa Precision. Taehwa makes dreams come true with the market credibility being our #1 value. Taehwa Precision, walking with our customers, will grow into world #1 company, challenging the next 100 years. Taehwa Precision, the leader of fire engine industry. Thank you very much.